Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we'll fill you in on the latest updates on the Paris attacks.
And later, we'll tell you about a racism forum that around 250 UMass students and faculty attended.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Rebecca McWeeney.
And I'm Danzel Jones, and you're watching UMass News Now.
Amherst College President Carolyn Biddy Martin has rejected the requests of the students on her campus demanding for more racial equality. Although the president does sympathize with her students' movement and has agreed to take the necessary steps to improving the campus's racial environment, as well as hire a more diverse staff, the specific demands of the student body will not be immediately met. Among their requests were a formal apology made by Martin, a change in the school's current mascot, and mandatory sensitivity training for students on campus that publicly criticize the racial movement. Amherst Uprising, the student group that made those requests, has not publicly responded to the president's rejection.
Yesterday, the South Hadley School had to evacuate immediately after school officials found what they described as a suspicious package. According to Superintendent Nicholas Young, the package was found right before dismissal and the police and firefighters were called in to investigate. The investigation is still underway.
The Hadley Planning Board is being sued by the Five College Consortium after their plan to build a North Maple Street book annex was rejected. Initially, the board was unable to reject the proposal based on its educational value, but did have the right to reduce the size from 130,000 square feet to 74,325 square feet. After officially deciding that the annex would not be used for educational purposes, however, the entire plan was scrapped, even after thousands had been put in by the Five College Consortium. Northampton attorney Mark A. Tanner is representing both the consortium and the owners of the land who had planned to sell it to them, while both of those parties say they will not give up until they have won.
Last Friday, around 250 UMass students, faculty, and administrators attended a racial inclusivity and racism forum. Chancellor Subaswamy says, "Our campus is not immune to the structural racism that confronts our country today." Subaswamy made notes about the situation that happened at the University of Missouri. Though in Missouri they dealt with painting of a swastika, UMass had also dealt with racial incidents that include racist graffiti targeting students in residential halls back in October 2014. The chancellor described the event as a listening opportunity.
After crashing into the front of the downtown Amherst restaurant Miss Saigon last Wednesday, the 14-year-old driver has been summoned to appear before the Hadley Juvenile Court on multiple charges, including unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle, driving to endanger, and destruction of property. Nobody was injured in the accident, but both the driver and the passenger were taken to the hospital simply as a precautionary measure. The restaurant faced very few damages as a metal bar on the sidewalk received the brunt of the crash. It is currently unknown how the teen got the car.
Coming up, we'll fill you in on the Million Student March.
And later, we'll tell you what is causing the world's sea levels to rise. Stay tuned.
Okay, guys, ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're live.
Probe Voyager 1 crossed out of our solar system, being the first man-made product to do so.
And find out what exciting event UMass is planning for our homecoming weekend.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Liz Streppa.
That's going to be us in 20 years, Kyla. 20 years.
If students don't start returning the locks and towels that they borrow, they might soon be locked out of free rentals.
For an anchor shot?
Yeah, is that good? Or
You want to zoom it out a little bit more.
more news updates around campus, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Until next week, have a good night, UMass.
If you can recall back to last Thursday, UMass students came together for the campus-wide Million Student March. The rally was part of a national day of action, which had over 200 students packed in the student union in both the entranceway, the stairs, and the balcony to call attention for a $15 minimum wage and canceling student debt. Many chants were being shouted throughout the rally, consisting of, "They say cutbacks, we say fight back," and "No cuts, no fees, education should be free," and 1, 2, 3, 4, climate change is class war, 5, 6, 7, 8, racial justice cannot wait. There were also talks about the end of occupation of Palestinian territories, Survivors' Bill of Rights, and also the creation of Title IX.
After delivery driver Fen Chung Lee was shot and killed in Springfield last Saturday night, Mayor Dominic Sarno has spoken out, saying that he is sickened by the tragedy. Delivering an order to Homestead Avenue in Indian Orchard, the assailants were able to escape the scene, with the Springfield Police Department working very hard to find them. This incident was unrelated to the 2 separate firearm injuries in downtown Springfield that same night. This is the 16th homicide that Springfield has seen this year. Mayor Sarno has already visited with Chung Lee's wife and 3 children to offer the family the full support of the city.
Last week, a Russian passenger jet crashed in Sinai, Egypt. The jet was brought down by an estimated 2.2 pounds of explosive, and now the Russian government is offering a $50 million reward for information about those that brought down the jet. A U.S. Department official stated that Russia has conducted a significant number of strikes in Raqqa in northern Syria before. There have been rumors going around that the strike toward the Russian jet may be linked to the terrorist attack in Paris. Claims are still being verified.
Carbon emissions causing world sea levels to rise could sink more than 500 million homes, as well as put 100 million people into extreme poverty. The reports came ahead of the United Nations Annual Global Conference on Climate Change that is set to take place between November 30th and December 11th. Sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia are said to be most likely to experience these climate and economic changes within the next 15 years. One of the conference's main objectives this year is to work on a plan to reduce carbon emissions. Countries will also be provided with support on how to prepare for these events as best as they can.
Last Friday, if you thought you were watching a shooting star, let me be the first to tell you, you are lying to yourself. A mysterious piece of space debris named WT1190F fell into the Earth's atmosphere. According to astronomers, as the object descended into the Earth, smaller fragments began to disintegrate and created a brilliant display of fireballs that was visible streaking across the midday sky to the south of Sri Lanka. Scientists are excited for this space junk, but it shouldn't be anything to worry about.
Coming up, we'll fill you in on the ISIS-affiliated Egyptian terrorist organization and how one leader has been allegedly killed.
And after, we'll tell you about an interesting flight that was coming right into Boston. Stay tuned.
Okay, guys, ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're live.
Probe Voyager 1 crossed out of our solar system, being the first man-made product to do so.
And find out what exciting event UMass is planning for our homecoming weekend.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Liz Streppa.
That's going to be us in 20 years, Kyla. 20 years.
If students don't start returning the locks and towels that they borrow, they might soon be locked out of free rentals.
For an anchor shot,
Yeah, is that good or?
you want to zoom it out a little bit more.
more news updates around campus, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Until next week, have a good night, UMass.
A leader in the ISIS-affiliated Egyptian terrorist organization Ansar Beit al-Maqdis has been killed according to the Egyptian government. Dubbed the mastermind and most dangerous of the group, Ashraf Ali Hassanin al-Garabali has died during a shootout with police after being stopped at a security checkpoint, although both where and when this altercation took place have not been released to the public. Sometimes called ISIS in Sinai Peninsula, al-Garabali's organization took responsibility for the Russian Metrojet crash that killed 224 people last month. Authorities had not accused al-Garabali of any crime related to the crash at the time of his death.
On a flight coming to Boston, a woman in her 30s allegedly tried to open an exit door on a British Airways plane. According to the Massachusetts State Police, the woman was said to have been intoxicated and was charged with interfering with a flight crew. The woman was later taken into custody after the plane landed in Logan International Airport.
Paris has vowed to destroy ISIS after the terror organization carried out a series of attacks in the city this past Friday night, leaving 129 dead and hundreds more injured. The world came together to show support for the city over the weekend after what was one of the worst terror attacks the world has seen since 9/11. French President François Hollande will be traveling to the U.S. to meet with President Obama and Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss details of the next steps to take in order to take down the terrorist organization. Although police have apprehended some suspects, at least 2 of the shooters involved are still on the run, with many more believed to be involved also still on the loose.
Becca, let me just say, you did an awesome job with Mass Hollywood.
Thank you.
Here's another episode of Mass Hollywood with Leah Geddes and Cecilia Hennessy. Hey, girls.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to an all-new segment of Mass Hollywood.
Here we'll tell you all the new celebrity gossip and groundbreaking Hollywood headlines. I'm Leah Geddes.
And I'm Cecilia Hennessy. Thanks for tuning in. Blake Shelton is in the news again, but this time it's not over his highly publicized relationship with Gwen Stefani. The country singer rescued a group of 4 men who were stuck in a mudslide in Oklahoma over the weekend. Blake used his tractor to get the guys out of the mudslide. Needless to say, the guys were thrilled that it was Blake Shelton who came to the rescue.
I mean, I would be thrilled if it was Blake Shelton coming to my rescue,
I
but
know. I jumped right in that mudslide.
Anyways, on Tuesday, November 17th, Charlie Sheen opened up to Matt Lauer on The Today Show, revealing that he is HIV positive. He has remained out of headlines for a while now, but at one point was the highest paid actor on television when starring in 2.5 Men. The National Enquirer published a cover story on his diagnosis recently, and Sheen is just deciding to open up about it.
Wow, incredible.
It's unexpected.
That people are living with HIV.
Yeah. I know. Would have never guessed, but I mean.
Best of luck to him. Yeah. Wish him all the health he can get. The new Bachelor was announced on Monday. Ben Higgins, a software salesman who was the 3rd runner-up on last season's Bachelorette, will be the next Bachelor. This season's Bachelor is said to have identical twins competing for Ben's love. The Bachelor returns for its 20th season on Monday, January 4th.
That is just crazy.
That's going to be interesting, those twins fighting for his love.
That's like a cat fight in the family.
Cat fights waiting to happen.
That's
oh, yeah.
Nuts. Not only are we all looking forward to The Bachelor returning, but another fan favorite is returning soon. On Tuesday, November 3rd, Kendall Jenner and Gigi Hadid announced that they would be walking in the 2015 Victoria's Secret fashion show. Jenner received the news on her birthday and tweeted, "The best birthday present ever at Victoria's Secret's newest recruits. Oh, and I get to do it with my best friend." The 2 models, alongside many other new recruits, will be walking in the fashion show that airs on CBS on December 8th, with performances by Rihanna, Selena Gomez, and The Weeknd.
2 beautiful girls.
Yeah, and the best birthday present you could ever ask for.
I know.
She's the same age as me and doing a hell of a lot better.
Victoria's Secret is not contacting me.
Definitely not.
Moving from one sister to another, over the weekend, Khloe Kardashian revealed information on her divorce to Lamar Odom and how his recovery process is going. Khloe admitted that putting the divorce on hold was a strategic move to help Lamar in his recovery. Khloe found out her divorce was being expedited at the same time Lamar was in a coma, and she felt it would be insensitive to expedite the divorce. This means that Khloe and James Harden, who has been very supportive through all this, are still going strong. Khloe also explained that Lamar's organs are mostly recovered after his recent overdose, but it is his brain that is affected. Kardashian admitted it will take at least a year for him to recover.
That was so sad. I remember
so
hearing that
sad.
story. It is really sad, and
I
mean,
really
good
just
for
love
Chloe.
and
Yeah,
Lamar
yeah, good for her for sticking
supporting
with
him through all this.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Must be hard.
Definitely.
Well, this past weekend, undefeated MMA star Ronda Rousey was knocked out in a second round by previous competitor Holly Holm. A former judo Olympian, Rousey was unbeaten in 12 UFC fights before fighting Holm this past weekend. UFC chief Dana White said there will be likely another rematch between the two. But for now, Rousey tweeted, "I'm going to take a little bit of time, but I'll be back."
She definitely needs some time after that fight.
I think so. I mean, it's just such a dangerous sport.
It was pretty
too.
brutal.
I think you would need time after any fight.
I agree. Well, unfortunately, that is all the time we have for you today. Be sure to tune in at the same time next week for an all-new segment of Mass Hollywood. I'm Cecilia Hennessy.
And I'm Leah Geddes. Have a great night.
Thanks, girls. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for you tonight. We hope to catch you back here at the same time next week. I'm Rebecca McWeeney.
And I'm Danzel Jones. Thanks for watching UMass News Now. Have a great night.